Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to go over the 10 books that I think are must reads for anybody in the woodworking industry. So these books cover a range of topics, anywhere from pricing to business structure to management to leadership, etc., right? These are in no particular order, but I do think they're going to help you along your woodworking journey, and they help me go from really doing nothing to where I'm at today. And so I hand selected these 10 because I think they specifically apply to the wood industry. So without further ado, let's go to book number 1 by E.M. Goldratt. I'm gonna butcher this name, but it's called The Goal. Every one of my employees that works for me has to read this book. This book goes over the theory of constraints and bottlenecks within a business. And so it's an easy read. It's almost like it's really easy read. It's over a story, right? It tells it in a nice little fable, really nice author. But it kind of helps you with yield, first pass yield, how to continuously improve, right? The first may improve at 50%, the second time it improves at 80%. It's not about the best piece of equipment you have or the best process you have. It's about the slowest process you have. And so this is really a must read if you're in the manufacturing industry, or if you want to grow your woodworking business, or if you have a pile of stuff in the corner and you don't know how it gets stacked up, this will probably help you figure out why. Book number 2 is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. So I read this book every single year. I've been reading it since I was 19 years old, so I've probably read it 8-9 times. And this book always reminds me that I am not the business. The business can be its own thing, right? And that's a very important factor that you have to go through, a very important stage that you have to go through in your business life cycle. And I think this book will help you get through that life cycle a lot faster. This is a very common book. It's a really easy read. Once again, it's super, super important if you're running the company to read this book, because you quickly learn it's not about you, it's about the systems that you have in place, and that's very, very, very important. Let's go to book number 3, and that is the tried and true How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I read this book every single year. Anybody in my customer service team has to read this book. It goes over a lot of basic human principles that apply worldwide. This taught me that the name is the most important thing about a person. This taught me how to treat my customers. All of my customer service manuals are based off of this book. Super helpful, super impactful. You've probably already read it if you've been around a while. If not, you need to read it. I highly, highly recommend this book. Let's go on to book number 4, Understanding Wood by Bruce Hoadley. This book is kind of an end-all, be-all, like wood technology book, right? You can read the technique books that are maybe about joinery or finishing or cabinetry or furniture, but this book is really the science behind woodworking. It goes over anything from how to cut wood, how to dry wood, how to bend wood, how the grain patterns are in different species, why they are that way, how sapwood works, how heartwood works, how when you glue something up, how the wood interacts with that glue. This is more of like an encyclopedia or a reference book, so you don't really read all the way through it. You would come back and reference it. But if you're new into woodworking or been around a while, this book, and if you kind of nerd like me and just love this stuff, you can nerd out with this book, highlight it all you want. Everybody that's in the shop needs to read this book or needs to know lessons from this book because they're vitally important. Okay, let's go on to book number 5. Book number 5 is The Blue Ocean Strategy by Kim Chan and Renee Mauborgne. This book goes over product development and marketing. So if you're a product developer or a marketer, or you own your business, your whole thing, right? You're a one-man show. This book is a must because it tells you how to make your competition irrelevant and the strategies to go about doing that, right? A case study in here is Circus Olay and how they beat out the Ringling Brothers and stuff like that, right? They looked at the circus industry, eliminated what customers didn't like, reduced some other things, brought up some other things, and they're very creative. And this this book is very good in how to create your own blue ocean without a lot of competition and to really make your competition irrelevant. I think it's a must read for product developers, must read for marketing, and very, very important. Okay, book number 6 is Confessions of a Pricing Man by Herman Simon. This is of the Simon & Simon Company. Pricing to me is one of the most important things in business that I think people overlook and they don't get right. You know, this book is really heavy in pricing psychology and pricing economics. You're gonna have to highlight a lot, right? It's not something you can listen to on Audible. This is a very technical book, but it's very important because if you're trying to price high-end items, you need to understand how to price them. If your pricing is for more, consumer products, like lower-end consumer products, you need to know how to price that. How do you bundle stuff? How do you give discounts? How do you have memberships to whatever you're selling? There's a lot of really good information in here that can help you really make your business a lot more profitable just by tweaking the price, not doing anything else different, by just understanding the price. So this book, I don't know, $20 or something like that, it could save you or make you thousands and thousands of dollars. Highly recommend this book. I've read it a couple different times. I have a lot of stuff highlighted in here. Once again, awesome, awesome book. Let's go to book number 7. Book number 7 is The Pumpkin Plan. I read this when I was 19 years old, and it really helped me understand how to focus in on a niche, potato, tomato, however else you say niche, whatever. Okay, so this really helped me focus in on something because the premise of this book is that it goes over how the world's largest pumpkin growers, how they cut all the other pumpkins off the vine and only allow that one to grow really, really big, right? So instead of one vine producing 10 pumpkins that weigh 25 pounds apiece, they only allow one pumpkin to grow on that vine, nurture it, care for it, put all their attention and energy into that one pumpkin, and it grows into 1,000 or a couple thousand pound pumpkin. And so this book is if you feel like you're making too many things, or you're spreading your energy too thin, this book is a must read because it'll help you realign your focus and focus on the important things in your business. Book number 8 is The One Thing by Gary Keller. As you can see, I have a lot of notes in this book. I make my leadership team, anybody on my leadership team has to read this book. Gary Keller is the founder of Keller Williams, and for 20, like he talks about, for multiple years, his business did good, but it didn't really explode until he started only focusing on a couple things or one thing a day, and he had to get that thing accomplished before he could go on to the next thing. And so this book really helps you gain clarity on what's important in your business, and this book has really, really, really helped me not be so scatterbrained, right? Because I'm a woodworker. I want to do anything and everything, right? I have somebody talking, or somebody asked me to refinish something. Somebody asked me to make something over here, another business venture. And, I'm very scattered. This book helped me be able to focus and really focus on what's important to grow the business or to help myself and to grow myself personally. So highly recommend this book by Gary Keller called The One Thing. Next one, The Toyota Way. Now, I could not talk about manufacturing or anything like that without mentioning the Toyota Way. This is all about just-in-time manufacturing and different manufacturing principles, lean manufacturing, etc. I'm personally not a big fan of just-in-time manufacturing. I don't think it works for my business, but it's very, very good to read this, understand it, understand the culture of some different countries, some different companies, and how you can apply and tweak stuff to your business. So, one thing I applied that I read out of here was an inventory thing, right? So you put you mark, when you're low on inventory, you put a certain note card or a reorder slip on a certain spot. So whenever your employees will get to that spot, they know to bring it up to you or bring it over to the PO person so they can make a purchase order to purchase more inventory, stuff like that. So it's a really good book. I'm just not a huge fan of just-in-time manufacturing. I don't think it works. I think it's more of a country culture thing, but it is what it is. I don't manufacture cars. I make wood stuff. There, that's that. So, really good book. You need to read it. It's pretty dry, but is a good book. And last but not least, Sam Walton, Made in America. And you may ask, Ryan, all these kind of make sense, I can see, why this book? Well, this book is a pretty easy read, and I make all of my employees also read this book. Why? Because Sam Walton made Walmart. All of his kids now are worth, I think, $40 billion, $50 billion, maybe $20 billion, something like that. So all of his family is worth a lot of money because of something he started in 1962. And what I really like about it is that Sam Walton is just an average guy. He's not superhuman. He's not super genius. He's not a prodigy. He's not super strong, super fast, or anything like that. He's just an average, good old country boy that founded Walmart and started, and founded this giant company. So it's a really good read. It really, inspires me about the American dream, what I can be capable of, because I've learned from an early age, I'm not a prodigy, I'm not a super genius, sadly. So this gets me excited whenever I read this book, and it gets my employees excited whenever they read it, because, it's not about, being this amazing person. It's just about doing the right things right. So that is 10 books that I think every woodworker or somebody in the wood industry needs to read that could help you grow your business. If you have any other book recommendations, please leave those in the comment section below. Thank you, and have a great day.